Week six. Oh boy, week six. It's kind of crazy to think I've done this, it's going to be 6 weeks of this, you know, being a thing. Um, of like me actually doing it. It's just kind of crazy, crazy how much time has passed. Um, but yeah, but yeah, Sunday. Today, really nothing to talk about. I had a late morning. I laid in. Um, because sleepy. Because I had a late night, so I had a late morning. Um, and then got breakfast and I just chilled out, played games, chilled out more, watched some things, chilled out. Went on a nice long walk where I didn't think about uni stuff. I just thought about things, which was really nice. I might talk about that, but and then I came back, had food, and played some games with some housemates, and that was basically the day. Nice, chill, easy, simple. Um, yeah. With regards to the video journal series, I have had some thoughts about it. Um, and what I'm going to try for this week, at least, is I'm going to stick it to every other day. And I'm basically just hoping that with it being every other day, one, it'll be easier to like keep up with because I guess what was helpful like before the in my last uni semester was that I was already in a very like rigorous like routine to like get stuff done, I guess. Um so it was easier to like stick to it. And I guess there was more to talk about as well. But like does it feel like there's always a lot of things to talk about? And I like gotten some responses from friends about like it not needing to be every day and like you know being able to like keep it to good stuff that's interesting. um and I think that's fair, and like to some degree like I do also feel that I always get kind of like worried about needing to say things and talk about certain things that people would be interested in, when really this needs to just be a thing for me that other people can see if they want. Um, so yeah, we're gonna try doing it every other day. Hopefully that's better. Maybe. If not, or like depending on how it goes, we'll see if we make any other changes. But yeah, there's just some thoughts I had. Um, mental. We'll talk about some mental stuff. We'll talk about some mental stuff. Um, so yeah, I went on like a nice long walk. Um, in the afternoon today. Um, and it was really nice because I hadn't had like a chance to like properly ease my mind off things um in a while. And just having that kind of like walk helped quite a bit. Um and allowed me just to think about some things that I wasn't particularly thinking about, I guess. Um but yeah. So one of the things I was thinking about was I guess in relation to like some of the other stuff I've mentioned. Um, like in one of the previous video journal entries, I think it was the third one on a Tuesday, or it was the second one on Tuesday. I think it was in the second one. Um, but I had a very, very long ramble, a very long mental spiel of like 30 or so minutes. Um, and I was mentioning a lot of stuff in regards to my ex and a certain group of friends that I had during A levels. I guess my feelings towards it. And there has been stuff happening with regards to that, or at least from my part in it, I guess, maybe. I guess my thoughts on it has like grown, maybe, and I guess I'm happier with where my mind's at with it. So yeah, to put it to words. um, I guess to put it simply, what the way I left things with my ex, I wasn't happy with. Um, and so I decided to like message them and try and clarify and let's just end things off a bit nicer. Um, because like to some degree, like this whole problem has been a long and tiring thing to deal with. Um, because the way my mind works with these kind of like social problems, like when they arise, is that like I don't really stop thinking about them until they're resolved, or like until a discussion has been had about it. So, like, if I have a problem with someone, or if someone has a problem with me, or if there's any conflict or tension or whatever, like, I always like to just talk it out to, like, you know, try and understand one another. And I obviously wasn't able to do that with my ex, at least not to the degree that I would have liked. Um, as obviously, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was like those conversations never felt truly honest or open, I guess. And so I never felt like I could actually understand, um, or what I believed was my understanding, um, like had to be wrong or something. And to some degree it was, because like my own biases were at play, and it was like hearing what I want to hear rather than what is actually being said. Um, and it's still like hard to separate the two. Um, but I'm more aware of that separation, I guess, is the best way to put it. Um, Simply said, like, this problem between us is something that um, I can't change or do anything about because it requires that two-way communication to resolve. And they don't want to have that conversation. That's totally fair. That's on them. And I should put my energy towards something else because while that person was really meaningful for me at like a certain point in my life, um, one, they've probably changed. Maybe they're not the same person anymore. Um, Two, uh, like because of uni and certain distances, it makes it kind of like a problem that is really hard to kind of properly resolve. And three, they don't seem interested whatsoever in resolving it. And given that that's the case, my energy going towards it is wrong. Like it's a waste, and it only hurts me more than anything else. Um, so yeah, I messaged them basically like saying what I said before was like emotional, and um, you know, this is me more clearly putting it. And obviously, I would love to maintain this friendship, but if you don't feel the same way, then that's not going to work. Yada yada. Um, Hopefully, one day in the future, things can work out. But until then, I'm going to just leave this be and just distance myself completely. And so basically, that's it for now. Um, who knows if it changes in the future? Maybe it does. But like, that's basically how I am feeling with that. And I guess that like relationship I had. Like I'm just accepting that I have to just leave it and keep my distance from it, and knowing that I'll be better off for it. Um, at least until it can get resolved, if it ever gets resolved. Um, but I won't let that like weigh me down and stop me from being able to like move forward with my own life. Yada yada. Uh, yeah. So I was thinking a bit about that. I was also thinking a bit about like the drama, like that friendship group as a whole. Um, because it's one of those kind of groups that like I don't know feels very once again I may have mentioned this before but it feels like just like a situational kind of friendship group. Like we were kind of brought together because of drama studies, and after that was over, we didn't really keep up great communication. Um, or at least that's how my part in it feels. And I probably still feel more like a third wheel to that group than anyone else. At least I imagine. And because of that, it's kind of just a group that like I'm realizing isn't like worth my time, or at least doesn't appear to be a group that is as valuable to me as I once want. Well, maybe I wanted to believe at one point. Um, yeah, and like to some degree, I guess I feel that like because I hold on to so many different kinds of friendships and feel lots of like responsibility to like uphold them. I was holding on to like that group and those kind of friendships when I really should have been focusing on other things and prioritizing other stuff for myself. Um, and yeah, and none of this to say that like that group I wouldn't, hang out with or like want to spend time with or anything like that. It's more that like right now to me, it doesn't feel like I'm really a part of it or that like there's any reason for me to be a part of it. Like I just don't feel like I'm at close to anyone there in that group. Um and if like that is really how I feel, then I kind of have to accept that and move on from it. And or who knows, maybe things change. Because I mean, like if some people from that group reach out to me and talk, and we have like I don't know some longer spiel or conversation, and then start like actually spending time on talking and whatnot, then like, hey, maybe that's a positive. And that could work out nicely. But at least for right now and the present time in my mind, it just doesn't feel like those friendships are as valued by either party. Um, and so, yeah, that is kind of like a resolution to that stuff for now, I guess. And yeah, I guess I'm at peace with it. Um, and like, I'm more at peace because a lot of my other friendships that I have from like back home, from uni, and whatever, I'm a lot more happy with now and feel a lot more like of a deeper connection with. And so like maybe it's like I'm less concerned about those friendships, knowing that I have other ones which are like deserve me putting time into, put that way. So yeah, I guess it's like it's a weird kind of ending to all that. If this really get and like kind of ends up being the end to the that kind of like stuff. But it's an ending I can like at least be content with. So yeah. So I was thinking a bit about that, and also I was just kind of thinking about myself and like my direction in life, because one of the things I really value is family and the time that people have in those kind of relationships. And I've always, I think, desired to have one, to be like to make a family of my own. And it seems like such a hard and long and like monumentous task or challenge. Um, but first step towards that is to find like an actual relationship that you can start a family with. And in order for that to be secure, uh, I need to love myself more than I currently do. Because obviously, I've mentioned that I've talked about all these different things in my life and periods of time where I just haven't had any self worth or like love for myself. And to some degree was like self loathing. And you can't really have a stable relationship if you're dealing with those things. Like you can have a relationship and it can become stable as you like learn to love and appreciate yourself and all that. Um, but it's very hard to do that. And I know that like part of this path in like my life going down it is to get to that point where I can, I guess, is it unconditional love the right word? Yeah, I guess so. Like get to that point where I would not have to like question my worth or value as a person. Like not have to second guess all the decisions I make or um, doubt my capabilities or beliefs. Like essentially, it is like unconditional love. Yeah. Um, that's like part of the road that I'm walking down. Part of one of those like goalposts that I've got to get to. And and either that will be the stepping stone that will lead me into a stable relationship, or I'll find a stable relationship while I'm on that path. Mhm. Sorry. Um, but yeah, that is part of the journey. Because I guess like that's one of those things that I value so much and have desired for a long time, but never really known how to get like to that point. Um, and obviously, like the other part is like actually trying because you can live life and eventually like maybe love will find you, um, like a relationship with someone. But I'm pretty confident that um, you have to pursue it if you really want it. Especially if you want to like find it while you're young. You have to like actually pursue seeking out like love and a potential lifelong partnership. And maybe I just need advice on how to do that because I have no idea how to start with that where I'm at. Um, and equally, it's like partly it comes with like environment, like depending on what people are around you and how often you're around those people. Um, like that affects how easy it is to find someone. obviously. Um, but even like, because there are ways to like, do dating that isn't just based on people you know from your environment. And maybe I just need to find some confidence and try some things out. But it's scary. And I don't know. Maybe I want to like get to that place where I go love myself unconditionally because it will make this a lot easier to do. Um, it's just kind of like a growing realization that I've had for this, across this first 3 months of this year. It's just realizing more and more how much like finding love is about actively seeking it out. Um, and yeah, but who knows? Yeah, he's hoping for the future, I guess. So yeah, that's all the mental stuff really that I can think of um, for now. And I do need to get some sleep because tomorrow is more collab, like in person with people. So I need to do a lot of stuff with regards to that. With this coming week, going to be focusing a lot on the prototype and getting that all put together. And so a lot of the design work for our collab team is gonna like shift from like making diagrams and documents to actually being about like polishing mechanics and putting them together. And also maybe prototyping like some features that aren't as tech heavy, like not as like C++ programming heavy. So yeah, I need to look into doing those, like sorting out the tasks for that. And also some like designing of like certain features, like the UI and like pause screen and menu screens. Um, Deciding on the map maybe and some other stuff. But yeah, that'll all come tomorrow. And I guess there'll be other uni things across the week with work and some ambassador work, which I'll be paid for. So that'll be fun, hopefully. um, yeah, but there's all to come, obviously. So yeah, this week's going to be every other day. We'll see how that goes. Um, I mean, it'll be every other day. Like, I was going to say, no, that does work out because it'll be Sunday, then Tuesday, then Thursday, then Saturday. Yeah, okay, that works out. I was worried it's gonna like miss Saturday and that would kind of ruin it. But no, this will work out. Every other day is what we're gonna do. So see you all on Tuesday. So I'm gonna have to keep Tuesday a bit short because I have ambassador work tomorrow, which means I do need to wake up and get off probably pretty early. I like still roughly 9ish, I think, because the actual stuff starts at 9:30. But it will just mean I need to like make sure I get sleep and actually get up in the morning properly. Um, as for Monday and Tuesday, Monday super tiring once again. Um, Probably even more tiring than last Monday because I had basically obviously the actual pitch happened, which I wasn't directly a part of, like actually doing the pitch. But there was feedback given in the pitch that we had to reflect on with the design to alleviate certain worries and concerns and whatnot. Um, and work towards a better game as a whole. So there's a lot of like talking and like reworking of certain things and additions in places and removing in places and stuff like that. Um, then I had different people come and talking to me about the different things, like people talking to me and some art people, and obviously all the different designers, and so like and the animators, and I was just like kind of going like, oh. So many people, so many talking. Like the nice thing is that I don't have to specifically reach out to them because, like, thankfully we have a really great team and they're like very active and communicating and all that, which is great. But it's just super fucking tiring. Ugh, like, oh my gosh, I actually just feel so worn out. It's at the end of the day, and I just like sunk out so hard. Um, but yeah, that was basically yesterday. Super tiring, but managed to get through stuff. And then today, I didn't go to my lecture in the morning because I slept in because I was super tired. But I went to tutorial. Tutorial was fine. It was doing VR stuff and like learning how to make it in Unreal using a plugin, which was all right. It felt worse than using Unity, but I need to think about it more because obviously I have to make a choice about which engine I want to make my project in. And the tutorials are probably going to be tailored to one or another every week. So making the choice early, not necessarily like super required, but it'd be good to get ahead on the artifact part of it, the module. So yeah, and then obviously that led into um, I had a meeting with the art people so I could catch up with them and make sure that was all good for collab. That went well. And then I had a little chat. I was just hanging out with housemates. Because the thing is starting a D&D campaign at some point, and so we're trying to get a one shot organized so we can get comfortable doing D&D with each other. And I'm looking forward to that. It's been a fucking long time since I'd done any kind of like D&D or role playing board game or anything like that. Uh, and I really like doing it, so it'll be fun. But obviously, timing and stuff with all this collab is hard and tiring. And obviously, I'm signing up for ambassador work to make some money for things, this and that, yada yada, here and there, all over the place. Oh, making me sleepy as hell. um, but yeah, so that's basically been today. Because other than that, I've done like a few forum posts and then chilled out most of the rest of the day. Um, because I've just obviously been super tired from all these different things. Um, with tomorrow, obviously, I have my ambassador work, which will last until, was it 3:45, was it? Yeah, so basically four. So that's going to take up like pretty much the entirety of the day. And I'm not really going to have a chance to do much of anything other than to probably like catch up on Teams messages if there's anything for collab that needs my input. Um, Other than that, it'll probably be a pretty chill day. And I forgot about Splatoon Society tomorrow. Jeez, so overloaded with things. um, I'll still probably try and go to the volleyball training on the Thursday, but I don't know. Just hoping I don't don't have any I'm hoping I have sleep. I hope I get fucking good sleep these next few days. But yeah, wish I had more to talk about, but I do need to get to sleep. And these 2 days have been like busy and also tiring. So hopefully there'll be more to talk about in the next entry on Thursday. Because I do actually prefer this like every other day system. Because I just feel more relaxed on certain days, like not stressing about making a video and talking about stuff and like, that's interesting and that. Um, and it also means that like the actual entries themselves, even if it's like a very like slow, like not much happening day, there's still lots to talk about over the course of 2 days, I guess. Um, so yeah, last thing I'll say is that really like, I'm really getting like this like desire to work on my Demon Arm story again. Um, which is annoying because obviously collab and all these other things at uni are just kind of like eating up my time. And I just don't feel like I have really much of any time to commit to it or like any other personal projects right now, which is just annoying. But I really want to get stuck into writing that stuff again because it's just so many cool things. So many cool things, and like all the time, like when I'm like listening to like music, um, I'm finding just like new songs and whatnot, or like pieces, and then going like, "Huh, this actually really fits this one scene in my story." It's like, oh, I want to share that. I just want to share that. Um, but yeah, that's going to be it for today. So, see you all on Thursday. So Thursday, it's been a weird day, but what else is new for this semester of uni? I'll talk about Wednesday first, and we'll talk about Thursday. But Wednesday's to us was pretty chill. I had a early morning because I was doing ambassador work from 9:30 till what was it? 3:45. So it was a long day of ambassador work, but I lost some money for it because yeah. It was really weird as well the event because the event I was doing was a campus visit for the like games taster visit. Um, and what was crazy was that there was four different visits happening on the day. There was the games one, there was a year eight one, there was a cry, and there was a creative arts one. There's just like way too many things, way too many coaches. Um, but after like we got like after we found our coach that had the people who were supposed to be guiding around, it was fairly smooth after that. One annoying part of it though was that during the like core part, they basically said like you know, at some point go to the motion capture studio in Cadman. And our group that I was doing for the tour with, we went there first because I needed to go to the toilet. And apparently they just weren't ready. And it was like 15 minutes late anyway because we were late getting to the like opening talk in the first place. So I don't know why it took them so long to get ready, but yeah, that was just weird. But the later half of the day was pretty chill because it was just one room. You know, they go in and do a bunch of different like experiences and whatever. Programming one, design one, whatnot. They do all the taster kind of sessions, and those all went well. So overall, it was pretty chill, pretty easy. I was pretty happy with it, and the ambassadors I was doing it with were all fairly nice as well. So that was good. And then I think I chilled out for most of the rest of yesterday. Remember doing much of anything else. I didn't go to Splatoon Society, mainly because I was tired after all the ambassador work. So what I instead did is I played some games with some friends, which was fun. I've been getting back into Overwatch because, well, Marvel Rivals is shit right now, and I used to play that a lot. And so Overwatch is just a bit more fun. But it's still like annoying at times. I might be actually feeling like some hero shooter burnout, but I don't know. We'll see. It's an easy game to play with friends, so I'm probably just gonna keep playing it with friends and not particularly play it by myself as much. But yeah, so that was yesterday, and then today, um, I had a late night and I didn't go to the morning volleyball training, because I was getting in my head about like not being as good at volleyball as I could be, and like basically a bunch of like self negative talk and stuff, which kind of came out of nowhere. But is mostly probably due to like energy levels because it's felt like there's so many different people that have had to be like putting energy into talking, understanding, and all this whatnot. And I think I just basically hit a breaking point last night. um, where like my mind just kind of like became so exhausted that all the kind of like more negative thoughts and whatnots kind of just started like spiraling back up. Um, but I went on a walk and managed to chill out a bit. Um, yeah, and it was funny because one of the things that I was thinking about on the walk was like the reality of like always like no matter what, always like trying to do the right thing. Like, 'cause I can think like so many different times when like I've been like just worn out or like feeling super negative or anything. And like even in those moments, there will just be things I will try and do um right or good. Like I'm trying to think of like a good example. But like if I was in like a bad mood one day, like I think for a lot of people, something like doing a chore, like cleaning the bathroom, they just wouldn't do it. Um, but like I can't not do it. Even like no matter what my mood is, I just can't not do it. And those kind of things. I don't know. It's been a weird thing because it's like it's also like the reality that like even whenever like I end up in like a bad mood, like I always have to pull myself out of it. And it's not like it's not even a choice. I just kind of do it, which is it's a nice thing. Though it also just I don't know. It kind of scares me because I worry that like I wouldn't ever be able to take it chill, or that I'm trying to think of a way to explain that like that desire to continuously do good and to improve and fix things would just like become too much. But yeah, um, hopefully it's never been that way, so that's nice. But yeah, it's just something that I thought about. And then obviously once I like chilled out a bit, I got on with some collab work, making some documents and starting a Gantt chart um, this afternoon, which was fine. And then I had dinner, talked to some housemates about some stuff and difficulties, which also helped boost my spirit because I always find that like when I'm actually able to help someone, it like gives me energy most times, especially if it's on like a more personal basis. So yeah, and then I've been chilling out this evening, did a forum post and spent some time with my sister on call, which is nice. So yeah, I don't know. It's just been a weird day because it's like it started like really low and then it's kind of turned out okay. So yeah, I don't know. Weird, weird, weird. Um, but yeah, this like doing the post like the video every other day is definitely help because it's like it means that like nights like that where like I'm feeling really shitty, I don't have that extra thing that I need to do. Because like if I was sticking to it every single day, like I said before, it'd just be something that I would just do despite like my mood, which may be like a good and bad thing because I might not be able to do it as well as I would like to. Um, but yeah, doing it every other day means it's a bit easier to manage it, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one because I really can't think of much else to talk about, and I want to get some sleep. Because tomorrow I have a 9 a.m. lecture and I want to do some stuff before my tutorial and then volleyball. But actually, that's something I could talk about. It was really scary in that moment, like last night, because I was just thinking about like, oh, I'm going to be getting up early tomorrow for volleyball training. Like, oh, I shouldn't be staying up late. What am I doing? And then, like, it kind of dawned on me in that moment that, like, I didn't want to go to volleyball. And that was like it's been like the first proper instance of that feeling being there, I guess. Which was just kind of scary because, like, volleyball has always been, I mean, like, sport in general. Like, I've always had, like, a kind of sport that I do alongside, like, studies. Um, that's, like, something I look forward to, like, move and do something physical and whatnot. And I really enjoy sport. So it was kind of scary in the moment because I was worried that, like, that might persist, but I don't feel that way now. Like, I'm excited to go back to volleyball for the socials tomorrow, and hopefully the Evo session on Saturday. But yeah, I guess I just got to manage my emotions and mind more. I probably need to give myself more, like, time to properly relax and recuperate energy because that's obviously going to affect lots of different things which are still important to me. So yeah. But anyway, gonna leave it there for today. One more video for this week. It's weird to say on Thursday. Um, but yeah, tomorrow's gonna be obviously all that uni work and a bit of volleyball, and then Saturday will be a bit of volleyball and something else. I don't know. We'll see if there's anything interesting to talk about then. So see you guys on Saturday. Okay, so yeah, I've missed Saturday because I was having a long, emotional talk with some housemates and lost track of time. And so, yeah, this is just going to be done Sunday morning, which for the next video journal might just mean that, like, I start with Monday, then do Wednesday, then do Friday, because I really do like the every other day thing. I think that's really been working for me. And we're going to stick at that from now on. And maybe it'll change in the future again. Who knows? But for now, I really like that aspect of this week. So, yeah, let me talk about well, yesterday and today, right? Yeah. Or not, sorry. Yesterday and Friday. So Friday was a pretty okay day. Blanking out. I got up to my lecture, which was all right, and then I basically chilled out for about 2 hours, before going in to do some collab stuff, get like the Gantt chart finished, which was good. And then the actual tutorial was fine, great. Um, I was working back in Unity again, and I think I still prefer it, but there are some weird bugginess things when it comes to Unity's virtual reality that, like, maybe it's not the best. Maybe doing like Unreal will just be easier, but we'll see. I guess that'll become more clear with next week. Um, but yeah, and then I had the volleyball socials, which was good. I enjoyed getting back into volleyball. Um, Even if I think some of like the like uneasiness and negative feelings were like carrying over still. Um, but yeah, and then I chilled out basically all of yesterday afternoon. I don't really think I did much. I don't think so. It was just chilling, doing some games, taking a shower, watching some funnies, having a bit of a chat with a housemate. And then that was Friday. And then Saturday has been, I think, overall good. Yeah, I'd say overall good. Um, so in the morning, I had volleyball, um, which was positive, and I felt like a lot better about it. which was nice. I think I was doing fairly decent as well. So yeah, I was generally happy after that. Um, and then I did my shop, which was good because food. You love me some food. And then and I basically chilled out and just played games for like the rest of the afternoon because I just didn't really feel like doing. I don't know, I didn't really have like mental capacity for I don't know anything like uni work or whatnot. I was kind of like considering what I could do for a second, and I was going to do a bit of story stuff, um, but didn't feel like I had the right mental energy to like really work on it. Because like the next chunk of working on my story is um, doing the prequel stuff, and there's a lot of gaps in that, which when it comes to like filling out gaps, it usually requires a bit more mental energy put into it. Or at least it did for like some parts like the later half of the main story. So yeah. But hopefully soon that'll be done. And then it'll be character stories and I can talk more about characters and I don't know, interesting stuff, maybe. But yeah. And then after having some dinner, uh me and all the housemates finished the extended edition of the first movie in the Lord of the Rings series, which I really did enjoy. It was really surprising how kind of like abrupt the ending was. I mean, it wasn't like abrupt, but like I don't know. I guess when I think back to like big famous trilogies, I mean, I think of Star Wars and each of those movies has like a clear defining like this is the conclusion of this kind of part of the story. Whereas like the Lord of the Rings, it just felt like with that first movie, like it kind of just like there was plot beats that were like being set up that would that basically just didn't get to go anywhere at the end of the film. Which made sense because like it's adapting Lord of the Rings, it's adapting this big fuck ass book, and like it's got a long continuing story, which I'm very eager to continue watching because I really enjoyed it. Um, I guess there's no point worrying about spoilers because most people have already seen it. But I guess yeah, spoiler warning now for anyone who hasn't seen the first movie in the Lord of the Rings series. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about spoilers. Um, but overall, the characters I really enjoyed. It was funny because, like, in my head, Bilbo was the main protagonist, but then, yeah, obviously ended up being Frodo. I think sorry, all of the hobbits were great. I think all that like quirkiness really like added to the story. It really gave it some like you know, alleviated tension in a lot of places. And they made for like good protagonists. Um, though I do think that like it's a lot of different kind of combat encounters where I'm just kind of like, how are you surviving? Like they survive so many different things, and I just end up thinking like, wow, like you're not experienced fighters, so you should at least be like getting injured, right? I don't know. It just feels like they're kind of like always there, but then always not there when fighting stuff is going on, I guess. Or I don't know. They feel like they have some level of plot armor, I guess, is what I'd say. Um, but other than that, I really like. I'm gonna botch some of the names, aren't I? But like the I think it's Aragon. I think it's Aragon. I really like him. The way he's introduced and like his kind of personality and role in the story is really interesting. Because it's kind of like becoming a leader is like the narrative that they're setting up for him. And I'm really interested to see where they go with that. I really liked the human guy. I can't remember his name. Um, was like the son of Gondor or something. But like that guy, I really liked. Like the way they handled the performance of the actor, top notch, honestly amazing. And I really liked the way they handled like his um characterization and journey. Because like he's basically a tragic hero. Like he's someone who's like very like honorable, chivalrous, like fighting for the people, fighting to like, be a good, strong leader, like all these expectations and pressures on him and him trying to do the right thing. And yet the power, like the ring of power, like the its power and that like drawing him into it and kind of enveloping his mind, like preying on his weakness, um, was like really interesting to see. And like it was really sad as well because of how like um incapable he seemed of like being able to like resist it and how like sad and like regretful he was after like he tried to steal it. Um and then like that leading to like his sacrifice where he dies and him and Aragorn having this like really nice moment where like they actually truly bond because like there's like a tension between them across basically the entirety of the film. Um it was really like sweet and I really liked it. Um but yeah. Obviously there's the Legolas and the dwarf guy, I forgot his name. But they're great characters as well. They're like add some interesting dynamics to the party. And like I'm sure that they are characters that will get more further expanded upon in the like second and third film in the trilogy. Um like they are set up well in this first film, that's what I'd say. Gandalf as well. Gandalf's great. It's just a great character. I like how like kind of quirky he is, and yet like he's very wise, and he acts a very good like mentor figure for Frodo. So I really like that. And I'm surprised by his death in this first film, but who knows whether or not he will appear again. Yet to be seen. Yet to be seen. But yeah, no, really looking forward to the watching the rest of them. Um, Watching the second and third. The extended edition, I don't know if it really adds that much. It's probably more just like I guess extra scenes to like certain moments in the story just to add more emotion or try to add more emotion. It doesn't feel like it adds that much to me because like it does make the films drag on a bit too much, in my opinion. But it's still a great story, and I'm happy to like experience it in the extended version. So um okay. Uh so then after that, um there was all the emotion talk. Yes. So one of my housemates was starting to spiral into negative stuff. And like when they went up to their room, I like messaged them just to check if they were okay. And um, in that moment, I was just kind of like, I was knowing that like I wanted to help and like, lift them up and try and, you know, do something to like raise their spirit or whatever. And like, yeah, I just couldn't. I don't feel like I could like actually do it in the moment. Like I just couldn't bring myself to like it felt wrong to try and like raise their spirit. Um and like I just ended up like kind of like letting my mind just go and saying how I felt and stuff. That like I didn't feel like I was capable of truly helping. Um, and that like I was worried and care about them. And then they came down and we had a little, not a little, we had a, quite a long conversation about things. Um, mainly about, I mean, a lot about like some of my mental health. Because I guess what I realized in having this conversation was that like, I guess to some degree I haven't really been thinking much about my mental health or doing much towards it. Um, and like it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's, I guess, kind of like a circumstance thing. Like it feels like I'm at a good point. Um, and maybe to some degree, like because I feel like I'm at like a good or let's say stable point, um, it's not as important. But that's obviously wrong because it is still important. Um, and maybe like just having that conversation has helped like bring that to light. Because I guess what I realized and what we were talking about was like I have I guess this sort of like ego that like always means that like I should be helping people. I should be helpful. I should be capable of doing things for other people and whatnot. And and because of that, like it influences my actions um to some degree and draws me towards trying to promote good things when I'm still trying to figure out good things, like what's, right or wrong in any given context. Never really knowing for sure. And I guess feeling like a need to offer something. Um, so I have this like expectation of myself that like there's always more I can be doing. Like it's basically perfectionism. And it's like perfectionism tied into some like people pleasing ness as well, probably. Um, but like essentially it always feels like no matter how much I like progress in life in terms of maybe mental health or physical health or social health or whatever kind of thing, I guess metric you want to use, no matter like how much I progress, it feels like there's always like the goal is always move further away. So like 3 years ago, if I knew I was like gonna end up here where I am now, I've been like, awesome, that's perfect. That's basically what I want. All right, let's do it. Um, but obviously that goalpost has always just been like moving further and further away as time has gone on. And that's yeah, it's just hard at times because it makes me feel like it's never enough when that's an expectation and a judgment that I'm placing on myself unfairly, obviously. Um, and from a like self-sacrificial kind of place, um, which isn't good, obviously. And it may be something I just wasn't thinking about or not wanting to think about. Um, it's pretty complicated and it's pretty difficult to like work through, I guess. 'Cause there's so many conflicting parts to it. But like this is like I guess something that's always been affecting me. And like, there's so many times and people I can think back to and just think, like, in that moment, like, what I cared about most was being helpful, being like giving some kind of guidance or advice or doing and like anything to help. And that maybe being part of like the problems in some of those situations. Maybe with my ex, maybe my sister and other people in my life. I don't know. And I think like that's something that I've maybe like thought about before as well. And I've never really known where to go with those thoughts, what to do. Um, my friend gave me some advice or like a suggestion of like um trying to be more aware of those moments where that is the thing that's driving my decisions, and then like maybe just choosing like differently. Which is kind of complicated and hard to like take from theory into practical, but it was good advice, and I'm gonna probably think about it and see if there's any ways I can like actually apply it. 'Cause I'm not sure right now, but I have a feeling that there is something I can do with it. But I think I just need to like give myself more time to think about my own like thoughts, emotions, feelings, direction in life, experiences, beliefs, because there's still stuff that I've got to work through. And the only way I do that is by working through it and talking about it as well. I need to talk about it more with more people rather than, I mean, because like doing this is helpful, obviously, but it's not as helpful as just talking about these things with people. Um, because not only do I get a greater understanding of my own like beliefs and perspective in life, but it also helps to hear other people's perspectives and to like, you know, see how they challenge or agree with or, you know, interact with mine and help cultivate whatever. I don't know. Good futures, I guess. It's probably a terrible word to put it. You get the idea. Um, yeah. um, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I don't really want to talk too much longer because I don't want to get this video done and get some sleep. Um, and I'm probably still a bit emotional feeling right now. Um, but yeah, is there anything else I could say? Hmm, I'm just worried that there's something deeper going on that's bad that I'm not addressing, and I'm worried about how that might spill out and affect other people, but also how it will like affect my life. Because I guess one of those things that like I also thought about and kind of acknowledged was that like and it's something I think I've talked about in a previous maybe this week as well, probably. But like is that like idea that like the way I am right now, I don't see myself being capable of being in a relationship, of like finding love. And it's just that's something that like one is evidence of being like mentally healthy enough. Yeah. And like still having stuff to work through. And then two is sad because it's like one of those. I mean, it's one of the main like kind of goals, I guess, for my life is like having a family of my own, and like if I'm gonna get to that point, this is one of those milestones I've got to cross over first. So yeah, I definitely need to give that a bit more thought. But hopefully I'll be able to do that in the future, in the soon future, maybe. In the far future, more likely. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, that's gonna be it for week. What is this? 5 now? Yeah, week 5, right? Um, overview of the week. It's been up and down and all around. There's been some good mental stuff. There's good change that's made doing this video journal series a lot easier, which is the every other day. I just need to keep that consistent, which is a bit harder to do, I think, just because it's not as common as I was doing it. So just take a bit of adapting to, but hopefully next week we'll stay consistent to it. Like the next video journal entry, be consistent all the way through, not missing a day. Um, as for I guess going forward, I am going to focus on giving myself a bit more time to kind of just recuperate in a lot of different ways. And yeah, but on to the next video journal series. And I guess I should say Happy Mother Day to all the mothers out there, because there's totally going to be so many mothers watching this video. But it is technically Mother's Day today, so happy Mother's Day. Uh, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I guess I will see you in the next one. No, I guess. Take care.